Live from the Ball State News Center, this is NewsLink Indiana in high definition.
Good evening and welcome to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Eli Voiles.
And I'm Abby Kirk. Thanks for joining us.
Ball State University held its 2015 Veterans Day ceremony at the Student Center today. NewsLink's Indiana Jenna Liston has more.
Ball State Student Veteran Organization held its 2015 Veterans Day ceremony today at the Student Center. Students, faculty, and family members came together to pay remembrance to those who have served and those currently serving to give thanks and recognition. Ball State alumni Lieutenant Colonel Rosenberg gave the first speech of the ceremony and discussed how this day should be reflected upon.
I want you to today remember our veterans and remember the ones that are still serving, the ones that are abroad. And again, God bless our nation and our service members who serve our families and support them.
Ball State University President Paul Ferguson gave a few words on his views of the program and the importance of Veterans Day.
Well, I think this is just such an important day to honor our veterans and to thank them for their service. The sacrifice of them and their families allows us to enjoy the freedoms that we have, especially in higher education. So gathering together today to celebrate them and to honor them is very special.
Members of the Army, Navy, and Marines, and many more came together today to listen to this presentation on Veterans Day here at Ball State University and listen to those stories of who have served, what their experiences have been like, and listen to the new award for Hometown Hero.
A tradition that started this year to honor a local veteran affiliated with Ball State or Delaware County. The award is given to someone who goes above and beyond to support veterans. The winner for the first Hometown Hero Award was awarded to a United States Navy World War II veteran, Meredith Fry, who accepted his award with a touching message to follow.
I lived so much longer than the people that I knew and loved.
From NewsLink Indiana, I'm Jenna Liston.
Millions of college students struggle with food insecurity. One student organization is fighting hunger at Ball State. NewsLink Indiana's Casey Miller is live on campus with the story. Casey.
According to a recent study, nearly 1/3 of all households report having to make a choice between paying for food and paying for education. Now, Ball State's Cardinal Kitchen hopes to alleviate some of that burden. Students can come here to the Multicultural Center and visit the food pantry to receive some free assistance.
Student volunteers at this Ball State food pantry prepare bags of food for fellow students. Cardinal Kitchen's director, Derek Hugo, believes the group's mission is important.
The sole purpose of Cardinal Kitchen is to ensure that no Ball State student goes hungry. So we're here for the students, grad or undergrad, to address food insecurity on our campus.
As more students become aware of the pantry, Second Harvest Food Bank of East Central Indiana recently began supplying food to Cardinal Kitchen. Second Harvest CEO Tim Keene says the students are addressing a national issue.
I think they're addressing specific needs of hunger that exists on campus, and across the country that's becoming more prevalent.
Cardinal Kitchen served a record number of students on Tuesday. Hugo credits the growth to more awareness about the pantry, and he stresses the importance of making students comfortable enough to come in.
All of our volunteers, of course, are students, so most of the time it's pretty relaxed when you come in, especially because this is probably the first time that you have had to ask for help yourself. So it's a really relaxed environment.
Now, all that free food, a lot of times elicits some very thankful reactions from students. Hugo says that that's the most rewarding part of his job. Live in Muncie, Casey Miller, NewsLink, Indiana.
Thanks, Casey. Cardinal Kitchen is open to students the last 3 Tuesdays of each month.
David Letterman will return to Ball State on November 30th at Emmons Auditorium with filmmakers Spike Jonze and Bennett Miller. Tickets will be free and available on Friday starting at 7 a.m. for students and noon for faculty and staff. Tickets will be available for the general public on Monday, November 16th. Students, faculty, and staff must have a valid ID. 1 ticket per ID is allowed. Tell you what, the weather has been pretty deceiving lately.
I know, Eli, I have to say it really doesn't feel like November lately. We've been blessed with some warmer weather. I'm just wondering if it's gonna last or is it gonna start to feel like November actually? Ellen, can you tell us more? Is it gonna last or are we gonna get colder?
Well, it is fall, so temperatures are gonna continue. Yes, cooler weather than what we're used to is coming soon. But looking outside right now, current temperature is not too bad, 55 degrees. The wind from the south at 14 miles per hour, and right there you can see FR. That means that pressure is dropping rapidly. So that means the system is coming through. Temperatures are pretty uniform here around the state, but here's that system I was talking about. This kind of rotating area right here is a low pressure system in this long band. That's a lot of rain. So we're gonna look a little bit closer. Look at all of that green. Rain is coming tonight and even into early morning. So what to look forward to in the forecast? Rain and storms moving in. Not to mention very windy conditions to look ahead to and cooler temperatures on the way. That much and more upcoming in weather.
Information continues to come out about last week's massive search on the north side of Muncie. A request for a search warrant today included new details on what authorities found in one search on North Wheeling Avenue, including a large enclosed bunker buried beneath a storage shed. The bunker, as well as several plastic barrels, were believed to have contained large amounts of cash. However, all were found to be empty. The search warrant was requested to examine the contents of a safe deposit box in an Eaton bank. The investigation is still ongoing.
A 17-year-old Shenandoah High School student took his own life in a school locker room Wednesday morning. Henry County Sheriff Rick McCorkle said he was notified of the suicide a little bit before 9 a.m. and confirmed that the hanging was the cause of death. The suicide occurred while the student body was attending a Veterans Day assembly in the high school. The body was discovered in the middle school, which is across the street from the high school. Shenandoah students were sent home early.
A Muncie teenager was arrested this week. The 16-year-old boy is accused of robbing employees of 2 local convenience stores at gunpoint. Currently being held in Delaware County Juvenile Detention Center, he is initially charged with 2 counts of armed robbery, attempted robbery, and escape. And coming up, Ohio landing goes, ah-rah.
And the GOP candidates talk economics. Stay tuned.
Doesn't see race. Love is love.
So I've come up with the family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. A small jet plane crashed into an apartment complex while approaching an airport in Ohio. Authorities say all 9 passengers and crew on board were killed. No one on the ground was hurt. Chris Flanagan reports on the investigation.
Investigators will be working around the clock, but recovery will begin in the morning.
What's going to happen tonight, we do have investigators that are investigating, how the crash happened, where the damage is at, how the plane touched down. Did it, sideways or anything like that? We have investigators that are trying to work that information.
Investigators are holding the scene overnight, which needs to be gone over thoroughly.
This is a very complex situation, and it needs to be done very carefully, and everything needs to be documented well, which is one of the reasons that we're going to wait until morning light to be able to do this, to make sure we get the best possible information.
And once the sun comes up, the Summit County Medical Examiner's Office will bring in its own team of specialists.
We do at the Medical Examiner's Office have a mass fatality plan that we will be instituting here, and that's a part of our plan. So we'll be going forward with those plans.
And so will the feds. The FAA has 2 investigators here right now, 2 more on the way. Plus a team from the NTSB is expected to arrive shortly.
We know there's family out there that want to know, is their loved one involved in this crash? And we, for that reason alone, we want to get that information, and we will get that information.
Fox Business wanted to differentiate itself from previous debates. It certainly didn't lack for substance. Andrew Spencer reports the Republican candidate talked mostly about economic policies.
Fox Business agreed to give the candidates equal time, but that didn't stop some of them from fighting over it.
Let me say a couple things here. First of all, you should let Jeb speak.
We have grown.
No, it's unfair. In the state of Ohio.
Governor.
Hold on.
Governor Bush.
Thank you, Donald, for allowing me to speak at the debate. That's really nice of you. Really appreciate that. What a generous man you are.
The moderators didn't press Ben Carson on questions about his past.
Thank you for not asking me what I said in the 10th grade. I appreciate that. But,
I'll just forget that follow-up there.
But the intentional differentiation from the CNBC debate did not mean candidates went unchallenged.
You can't seriously guarantee that there won't be another financial crisis, can you?
If you could, if you were serious about...
Ever? There'll never be another financial crisis?
No, I can't say that, but I can say if you created higher capital requirements, that's the solution to this.
For the most part, political attacks didn't get personal in Milwaukee Tuesday night, the clashes instead focusing on policy.
I know that Rand is a committed isolationist. I'm not. I believe the world is a stronger and a better place when the United States is the strongest military power in the world.
Marco, how is it conservative? How is it conservative to add $1 trillion expenditure for the federal government that you're not paying for?
Some candidates pushed for a flat tax and talked about simplifying the tax code.
There are more words in the IRS code than there are in the Bible, and not a one of them is as good.
And, of course, balancing the federal budget.
We need to go to zero-based budgeting, so we know where every dollar is being spent. We can challenge any dollar, cut any dollar, move any dollar.
And many of them rejected calls to raise the minimum wage. I'm Andrew Spencer reporting.
And when NewsLink Indiana returns, it looks like it could be a windy day tomorrow, but just how bad will it get?
Your full weather forecast is next.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. You know, Eli, I heard there were some bad storms coming our way.
Yeah, I heard we could expect a lot of wind and a lot of rain. Ellen, is that true?
Yes, that is true. Rain, wind, storms, all coming our way. Right now we're looking at a little bit calmer conditions, luckily. Temperatures at 55, wind south at 14 miles per hour. So pressure is dropping rapidly. That means a system is coming through. So as you can see, there's a bunch of green, a bunch of rain here. There's a little center of rotation right here. That's a low pressure system. And this long line of green, that's a cold front. That means cooler temperatures, really high wind speeds, and rain. So if we take a closer look and kind of dive in here, the whole state is pretty much engulfed in this green color. But this rain isn't heavy. It's mostly light rain, even sprinkles for the most part. But as you see here in Illinois, there's this long band of a darker red color. That means stronger storms, and even you see these boxes behind me. Those are severe weather warnings and watches. And if you go a little farther west here into Iowa, look at that. That's snow. That tells you how cold those temperatures are. Luckily, that snow won't make its way to us, and more than likely, this will calm down, and the severity will be mostly lightning and very strong wind, I was saying. So those temperatures I was talking about, see this huge divide, green and blue. Yes, those temperatures are going down and even into freezing. Overnight tonight, though, rain and thunderstorms. And what I mean thunderstorms, a strike of lightning maybe, and that is likely the more severe to come around midnight and into 2 o'clock in the morning. And down to 42 degrees, so not too cold, but definitely chilly. And the wind is what we're looking at. Southeast to 20 to 25 miles per hour, but that's mild for what we're looking forward to. So into tomorrow, 8 a.m., temperatures around 44 and pretty overcast for the most part. Windy 20 to 30 miles per hour and gusts 40 plus around 3 p.m. So temperatures will be okay and you will see a little peek of sun, but those gusts will be intense. So here's a kind of a broader look of all those wind gusts coming through. All of this purple means into the 40s, 40 miles per hour wind gusts. So if you're walking outside, make sure you have something that can hold close to you because that wind will be rough. And it will continue throughout the day, peaking up to 48 in Muncie for our wind gusts, and in other areas even up to 50. For Thursday, the National Weather Service has issued a wind advisory until 7 p.m., so stay aware. But I would say, even though the wind advisory will end, doesn't mean those gusts will calm down. So likely into Friday morning is when the wind will get back to normal. So wind isn't the only thing going on Thursday. Are we going to see more rain left over from tonight? Well, we will see some in the morning, some of these green splotchy areas, light rain, even sprinkles. And then into the evening, we should just see more overcast conditions and clouds. And into Friday morning, kind of off and on clouds as well, but likely that rain should stay away. And into Friday night, things are going to start dissipating when it comes to clouds and clearing up. For your 7-day forecast, remember, windy on Thursday, so prepare for that. Clearing temperatures on Friday, but even into Friday morning, you can see temperatures are getting really chilly, 36, close to that freezing point of 32. But into Saturday morning, 31 degrees. But don't worry, our weekend should be pretty beautiful with mostly clear skies and around average of 52 and 54 temperature-wise. And then looking into the start of next week, Monday should be pretty nice, 53 degrees, but rain chances come back into the forecast Tuesday and Wednesday at 40 and 50%.
Well, you just can't get rid of this rain, can we, Ellen?
No, we can't, but that's all right.
At least I have my rain boots with me, so that's good.
You'll be prepared.
Right. Coming up, a local high school student wins a sectional thriller.
And the Ball State basketball program were busy on National Signing Day. Next on Sports.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Logan Hancock with your sports news for tonight. To start off the night, we're going to head out to Delta High School to catch up with the Eagles as they won a sectional title in a thriller last week. Evan Cox caught up with the team as they head into a regional matchup this weekend.
I'm here today at Delta High School, joined by the football team, who are fresh off their sectional win. Last Friday, Delta did something they haven't done in 5 years, and that was win sectionals. I caught up with the head coach of Delta, Grant Segunda, and he had a lot of great things to say about his team.
We felt like it was a big win because it's a sectional, and we haven't had a sectional championship around here for about 5 years now. And we've come close in those 5 years, but we had the opportunity last Friday night to finally get one in quite a while. So it was a great feeling for us to finish that out. You know, it was a good feeling to get that trophy and be able to. It actually went home with me that night, and we made sure we had it in the seatbelt on the way home. And you know, we had a lot of fun with it and enjoyed it over the weekend. That's what I told the players. You guys have 2 days to enjoy this, and then come Monday, we're back to work. And you know, I was real happy with our players, for our players. I was happy for our community, you know, our school, and so on and so forth. So it was a big win for everybody.
Although Delta is very ecstatic about their win on Friday, they look to achieve other goals as they face Roncalli this upcoming Friday. Delta faces off against Roncalli on Friday at 7:30 p.m. The game is at Roncalli, and it should be a great one. For NewsLink Indiana, in Muncie, I'm Evan Cox.
The matchup against Roncalli, as Evan said, starts at 7:30 p.m. in Indianapolis on Friday. Today was National Signing Day, and the Ball State men's and women's basketball programs were both busy at work signing future young talent for next season. The women's basketball team signed Aaliyah Walker, Megan Walton, and Morgan Glatzik. Walker is a 5'10" Indiana junior all-star who hails from Brownsburg High School, where she averaged 14 points and 13 rebounds a game last season. Walton is a 5'9" wing player from Hamilton Southeastern High School who averaged 16 points and 3.5 rebounds per game in her junior season. And finally, Glatzik is a 6'4" lefty post player from Wisconsin, and she broke out last season, averaging 10 points and 9 rebounds per game. Moving on to the men's basketball program, the Cardinals signed talented forward Kyle Mallers from Carroll High School in Fort Wayne. Mallers averaged 12.7 points, 4.9 rebounds, and 1.5 assists per game last season. He was named an Indiana North Junior All-Star for his efforts. Mallards had several offers from schools such as Toledo, Indiana State, and even SEC school Ole Miss before choosing to play out his college career here at Ball State. Coach Whitford has 4 Indiana All-Star commits for the Cardinals so far in his career. If Mallards were to make the All-Star cut this season, that would make it 5. And guys, the Pacers are playing the Celtics in Boston tonight. They're up 75-70 late in the third, so keep an eye out for that game.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Coming up, see what world-famous music competition Ball State is hosting.
And find out about Snoop Dogg's newest investment.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish! In your face! In your face!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Is the camera good?
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Kelsey Dickinson with your entertainment news. The Hastings International Piano Competition will hold its first ever North American auditions here at Ball State this weekend. Preliminary auditions will take place at Sursa Performance Hall. The competition is one of the most prestigious piano competitions in the world, holding auditions for only the best musicians for the past 12 years. Ball State will award airfare to the top 2 finalists to Hastings, England for the finals. Performances are open to the public. Snoop Dogg has launched his own branded line of cannabis products named Leafs by Snoop. Products include edibles, hand-weighed marijuana flowers, and concretes. Leafs by Snoop products can be purchased in several medical and recreational facilities in Colorado who legalized marijuana use in 2013. Snoop has been very open about his love for marijuana and was very involved in the development of his products. Past ventures by Snoop include launching a pot-focused media company called Mary Jane in September. Playing real-life character roles may be the way for actors and actresses to win an Oscar. In the past 15 years, 17 out of 30 Best Actor and Actress Oscars have been awarded to people playing a real-life figure. This Oscar was awarded last year to Eddie Redmayne for his role as astrophysicist Stephen Hawking in The Theory of Everything. The portrayal of real-life people is irresistible to the Motion Picture Academy, who tends to favor large performances and deep roles. Fans are hoping Leonardo DiCaprio will land an Oscar for his upcoming performance as American explorer Hugh Glass in Revenant.
No, you'll see.
Okay. Guys, the Pacers score is 79-74 right now, early in the fourth, so they're still up, holding the lead.
I'll tell you what, Paul George has been on fire.
Yes, he has. He's had a historical past 4 games. So.
Well, that's all for tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to watch us tomorrow night at 6 p.m. on livestream.com or at 9 p.m. on Cardinal Vision.
And be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a good night. And we're talking.